Okay, you are a 2009 graduate. How many years did you attend Fair Grove?
I attended 3 years, my sophomore year.
In high school, what activities or clubs were you involved with?
I did SAT for a little while. Did track and field and football and weightlifting, if you want to call that activity.
How do you think that these activities prepared you for the Army?
Getting to know the guys beside you, like family, became your brothers. You guys all worked hard together, and that pays off over there.
What drew you to the military?
As a kid, I always wanted to go into the military, and also figured out that doing a regular job just wasn't me. I didn't want to pour concrete for the rest of my life, and college wasn't for me either. It was too slow.
Was college what you, was the Army what you expected when you got there?
Pretty much, because I had a pretty fast pace whenever I joined the military. I went up to the recruiter and told him that I want to get out of here on the first flight as soon as possible, and as soon as that happened, went to basic training, went to airborne school, and then a month and a half later got deployed to Afghanistan, and yeah, I haven't stopped moving since.
So when did you actually enlist and actually leave to go to the military?
April 20th, 2009, or 2010, sorry.
And so then you were actually deployed January, is that right?
Yes, January 11th.
Is that about the typical amount of time?
Yeah,
And you're deployed for how long?
I was deployed for a year.
And is that about how long they go to?
Yeah, that's for regular Army.
Now, is the airborne school, does that make it different for you than, or are you still considered regular Army?
It basically makes me qualified to jump out of planes with weapons, you know. Exactly.
When you think of a good soldier, what are some qualities or traits that you think of?
Hard work, leadership, and focused.
Can you tell me a little bit, because you received your award for the activities from May 7th of 2011. Can you give us a little bit of a background, because not everyone may know that? About what the events were that led up to your act of heroism that they awarded you for.
From 2007?
I'm sorry, from May 7th, 2011? Was it that the day that...
Oh, yes. Okay. All right, gotcha. Woke up that morning, got off guard, went to go grab a Pop-Tart, and that my mom had sent me, and nobody ever sent me any peanut butter. I was surprised. Not a single person.
And everybody knows it.
Everybody sent me sunflower seeds. For some reason, sunflower seeds was the thing. But anyways, I opened up my Pop-Tart, all of a sudden, one of our communications guy, he comes into the tent and he says, QRF, which is Quick Reaction Force. Basically, the roll crew runs up to the trucks, gets them uncovered, gets the guns ready to go, and then we get briefed on where we're going and who we're going to get. But anyways, I went out to the truck and I found out that I wasn't on the roll crew that day.
Which means what?
Which basically means that I wasn't going to be on the mission. I was going to be holding down the fort, I guess you could say. And my commander, I remember he comes out there, and he always gave me a hug every morning, you know. He's always likable, you know. But anyways, he's like, what are you doing? You know, just yelling at me, get your stuff on, you know. And tells me to get into the truck, and basically we're all packed inside this itty-bitty truck, about 8 of us, I'd say. And we roll up, and we have 2 trucks. And as soon as we roll up, we see who we're going to be trying to get out. It was kind of like our brother. It was like we called him like our older brother because they were bigger platoon than us. And we were trying to get them out. And
what was happening to them?
They were getting shot up pretty bad. Their vehicles were down, tires were blown, that type of stuff. And they were just receiving too much fire, and they were calling in all forces to come get them. And as soon as we got up there, the fire just kind of died down. And then my commander, he tells me to get out, and our interpreter, and the Afghan National Army, which was about 8 of them. And we get out, and we start walking down into this wadi. All of a sudden, we start taking fire about 5 meters down, which is about 5 yards for you guys. But anyways, start taking machine gun fire. You just see the spread just right below us, and then we're just taking off up the hill. And as soon as we get up the hill, there's no cover at all, and we're ways away from the truck. Then we just start stacking rocks and laying on the ground. And I remember we took off our helmets and put them in front of us like this, just just trying not to get shot. You just hear it just going over. And anyways, my commander, he just tells me to stay put, and they're gonna move and try getting the trucks to cover behind this building. And anyways, my commander, he takes heavy fire, and the Afghan National Army, they ended up moving without me, because I started moving away, and I was waving them to come with me. I was expecting them to move with me, but instead they went the opposite way, So I felt safer going to my commander than them, because it's kind of I'm not going to say cowardice of them, but yeah.
They needed help in front of you.
Yeah, exactly, and they weren't going to come and help, so I moved over there, and then eventually, finally went back, and we got the A&A unit, or I did, got the A&A unit, moved over, and it's kind of a broken up story. You think I'd be good at telling it, but I'm not good at telling it at all.
You're doing great.
It's bits and pieces that you remember. But anyways, the A&A, and we start taking fire ourselves, and it just kept on getting heavier and heavier. And eventually, my commander, he starts getting less, I guess you could say. And I'm describing how we start returning heavy fire back just to get them unpinned. And basically, that was about the first 30 minutes of the gunfight, and then it went on for about 6 more hours.
Wow.
Or about 5.5, yeah.
And you were involved in it the whole time?
Yeah.
That's a long day.
It was a very long day.
Long day at the office.
Yeah, very long day.
So in essence, the ones that were with you went away from you, and you went towards your officer or your unit to help them.
Yeah.
And that was what they were praising you for, because you didn't abandon them also.
Yeah, and whenever I got the Afghan National Army to finally come with me, then we started, suppressing the enemy. Then my commander got unpinned.
And it was for that act that, and when they gave you this award, they asked who you would like to have it sent to, or who'd be notified, and you notified your coaches from here. How did that tie in? Because you were telling me a little bit about you almost didn't play football your senior year. You almost didn't go on that gunfight. How did that tie in?
Yeah. I almost didn't play football my senior year because I hated my junior year. I never played football, and then I got a coach that thought I did play football before, and I sucked completely. I didn't want to play, and then Coach O'Neill talked me into playing. He made me the prayer leader of the team, and then he just wanted to get to know me. So I almost didn't play, and I don't know. My life definitely would have turned out differently if I didn't. Because, I mean, I didn't think that I would have got, like, first team All-State, you know, and then second, you know, all those awards. And then I almost didn't go on that firefight. It's just crazy, everything little.
And if you hadn't, those that were pinned down might not have made it through. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's wonderful, amazing. What was going through your mind when you saw them pinned down, and you know what did you immediately think?
Get over there.
Was it training, do you think, or just because you're who you are?
Say both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Right then you think a lot, but you forget a lot. Like you don't. Just adrenaline is going.
How has your religion played into all of this?
Played in a lot. There's definitely a life-changing experience over there. I don't know, just praying that we get out of there sometime soon, you know? Like, me and my buddy, me and him were pretty good. You know, his dad was a preacher, my dad was a preacher, you know, and, like, we were always battle buddies at every gunfight together. And, yeah, there's a lot more.
If you were one of those that were pinned down by the enemy, and someone ran to save you, what qualities would you think that soldier had that was coming to save you?
Being a soldier.
Just being a soldier?
Just being a soldier.
Where were you when they actually presented the award to you?
I was back at the base, and it was actually General Petraeus doing a visit. And my commander said to General Petraeus, I'm thinking about giving Private Hicks here the Army Medal of Valor. And it's just pretty crazy because General Petraeus was like, it's done, you know, it's not a big deal. You know, 4-star talking to an E3 private first class that's been in for a year, you know, and it was crazy. I mean, even talking for a couple of minutes is weird.
So what does this award mean or signify to you?
That moment. What I love the most at that moment could just fade away.
What advice would you give to someone who's considering the Army?
Do as much as you can. It's all about how hard you work and everything. It's all about those little things that you do up until that very moment. Just don't be relentless in what you do. Whatever you find to do with your hands, do with all your might.